Russian President Vladimir Putin has sharply condemned the United States oil blockade against Cuba, stating unequivocally, "We do not accept anything like this." His remarks came during a meeting with Cuban Foreign Minister Bruno Rodríguez, reinforcing Moscow's steadfast support for Havana amidst an escalating energy crisis on the island, primarily triggered by tightened U.S. sanctions. Putin's strong words highlight growing geopolitical tensions as Russia positions itself as a key ally to Cuba, directly challenging Washington's efforts to isolate the Caribbean nation. The U.S. initiated a new phase of its economic pressure campaign against Cuba with an executive order issued on January 29, 2026, by President Donald Trump. This order declared a national emergency and authorized the imposition of tariffs on imports from any country found to be supplying oil to Cuba, effectively creating an oil blockade. Cuba's energy crisis has reached critical levels, with widespread blackouts lasting up to 20 hours a day in many areas. The scarcity of fuel has severely impacted essential services, including electricity generation, water systems, hospitals, and food production. UN human rights experts have also voiced grave concerns, condemning the U.S. executive order as a serious violation of international law and a grave threat to a democratic and equitable international order, warning of potential humanitarian collapse on the island. In response to this dire situation, Russia has stepped forward, with its embassy in Havana confirming plans for a humanitarian oil shipment to Cuba. This delivery would be the first since February 2025, when Moscow sent 100,000 tons of oil to Cuba via a $60 million state loan. While the exact volume of the upcoming shipment remains unconfirmed, even a similar amount would only provide a temporary reprieve, as Cuba consumes an average of 37,000 barrels per day. Nevertheless, the gesture is a clear signal of Russian defiance against U.S. pressure. Dmitry Peskov, the Kremlin spokesperson, hinted at ongoing communications with Havana, reiterating Russia's desire to avoid escalation while noting the lack of trade with the U.S. and advocating for constructive dialogue. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov further criticized the neo-colonial pressure practices by the U.S. and affirmed solidarity with Cuba and Venezuela. These statements underscore Russia's broader strategy to counter what it perceives as U.S. unilateralism and maintain influence in Latin America.